sorry, that's just anti-trans.
I'm gonna have a quick look at this. I'm not watching the whole thing. It's almost 50 minutes long. Transposition Sports, November 28th, 2025. Rants and controversy. At some point, they're going to talk about the strongman thing or the strong woman thing. So we're just going to have a quick look at that because this person is very pro trans women and women's sports. So yeah, let's see.
Happy Thanksgiving and hello again, everybody. This is Transposition Sports. I'm Carly Chardonnay Webb. And at the top of the sports tonight, Jamie Booker, a 28-year-old Philadelphia-based athlete and personal trainer. She went to the official Strongman Games World Championships in Arlington, Texas last weekend.
I didn't say this person's not nice. I said they're nuts. They are very clearly nuts. I mean, their like presentation style is quite good. I can definitely buy that they've always been interested in sport and they care about it and stuff. But their takes are stupid, frankly.
And she took the crown by a single point over past world champion Andrea Thompson of Great Britain. After that, after taking the crown, the organizers of the event stated Tuesday that Booker would be stripped of the title and disqualified.
Good.
Because she violated the event's policies that states only an athlete whose birth certificate states they are female could compete in the women's category. The organizer said, quote, had we been aware or had this been declared at any point during the competition, this athlete would have been permitted to compete.
Yeah, so they lied about being female. They pretended to be female, in addition to using a GoFundMe to raise the money to compete in the first place. I don't know if the people that contributed to the GoFundMe were aware of this. It doesn't mention anywhere that this person's trans. So these people paid this person money to do this, and then they got disqualified anyway. No idea if any of them even knew. Don't know why they can't just pay for it off their own back. Do they not have a job? Can they not fund their own shit?
In the women's open category. We are clear competitors can only compete in the category for biological sex recorded at birth.
Based.
Now, by the admission of the organizers, Booker entered the contest as the woman she is. She made...
No. If they'd have entered as the woman they are, there wouldn't have been a problem. Problem is that this Jamie person is not a woman. They're a man.
No affirmation of her gender identity in every regard. Originally, it was reported by a number of outlets, including this reporter, that the Strongman Corporation was the parent organizer of the event. Strongman Corporation said in a statement on Tuesday that they were not. They had said, quote, we want to clarify that Strongman Corporation has no affiliation with official Strongman Games. They do not use our transgender policy, and we are not familiar with any transgender policy they might have. They also stated that we are aware of the current situation involving a transgender athlete at a non-Strongman Corporation event. Since this athlete also competes in strongman competition, the situation impacts us as well. We are already in contact with the affected parties. We're not rushing into decisions.
This person doesn't give a shit that they just obviously lied and obviously cheated. Do you know why? Because if this person is to accept reality on this, then it means that they're also male and therefore also a man. And they also don't have the right to compete in women's sports. But I doubt this person is really competing in sports now because they seem pretty old. So they're probably not doing a whole lot of competing in sports.
Decisions or changes before gathering all available information and speaking privately with those closest to the situation.
Yeah, a lot of these people are delusional. That's the problem. They literally think they have become women and that every other trans woman has literally become a woman. And there is absolutely no basis for why we would exclude them from women's sports. It's called delusion. Something is up with this person that they are obviously transferring onto this gender shit. And it's not going to make them happy. They might be able to keep up a facade, but there's going to be a part inside of them that knows the truth, that can hear their voice when they speak, that sees what they look like when they first wake up in the morning. And they're not going to be able to fool themselves. I'm sorry. And it's not good to affirm like this kind of delusion.
Booker has been in 3 previous contests leading into this event. She had done...
Yeah, that's bad. Shouldn't be there. unless they're competing against men, in which case, fine.
Done well at 2 of those. She was first place in a regional meet in Washington State in June, and in July, she was second overall at the
She literally does compete with women. Oh, nasty. Nasty. Your friend is a cheater. They are cheating at women's football.
North America's Strongest Women's Competition in Victoriaville, Quebec. What really went on here?
Amaya, what do you think of the fact that a male person took that first place in that strongman competition, meaning that the person who actually won, who is a woman, didn't get their moment in the spotlight? They didn't get to stand up on the first place podium and hold up the thing because this man decided to compete and took it from her and only won by 1 fucking point.
Because one thing that has to be pointed out, Strongman Corporation has had transgender policy that mirrors previous International Olympic Committee policy. But
Yep, and they're probably moving away from that because it's retarded.
in looking for
I didn't ask if she's in a state that's liberal and allows it.
the official Strongman Games
What I said was this person is competing with women when they're male. They're cheating. That's cheating. Shouldn't be doing that.
policy, it wasn't to be found. At least until it was announced on Tuesday. No
Well, they didn't have a trans policy. If they don't have a trans policy, it's probably because they never had to deal with this before. Or they have, but the trans athlete was so unbelievably shit that it wasn't a problem.
previous policy by this event was publicly put out to competitors or anyone else. We brought in Audrey Yoon.
So what are we saying here? Because they never said that trans people couldn't compete, it's fine. They're male. They shouldn't be there. It's a women's competition.
Strength sport athlete and former Strongman Canada competitor.
Yeah, the thing is, when you make a point about trans women in women's sports being morally wrong, people will just make it about like whether it's legal or not. When I say that it's morally wrong that this person plays football with women when they're not a woman, all Amaya says is like, oh, they're in a liberal state, allows it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the morality of it. I think it's immoral to be a male person competing with women.
To look into.
I think that what this Jamie Booker person did is extremely immoral. They did a GoFundMe. They didn't seem to mention they were trans there. They lied to the organization, apparently. And this person's sticking up for them. The only reason this person is sticking up for them is because they're trans. And this person's also trans. This is what I mean when I talk about like trans like activism. And the trans community is very individualistic because the reason this person is sticking up for another trans person is because everything going on reflects on them too. So if we're going to say that this person, this Jamie Booker person is a male and shouldn't be competing with women, that reflects on this person too, and they don't like that. Something about this person, I guess they can't handle the fact that they're male, but they are, unfortunately.
What's really going on? What have you heard about the situation down at Strongman World Championships down in Texas? And what's your gut reaction to it?
Well, first of all, I had the misfortune of hearing about
Oh, that voice training, that mic quality.
it just as I was waking up. My head was spinning, and there were all these messages and all these posts about the strongman community freaking out over what was apparently a trans woman winning World's Strongest Woman.
Yeah, that's bad. Why are people freaking out over it?
That they're saying a man is stealing a woman's titles again.
Which is what happened, yes.
In some ways, is this kind of deja vu all over again for you? Remembering your story and some.
Wait, has this person also done the same thing? Tired of facing transphobia in strongwoman competition. Oh, it's Carly Webb. It's the same person. This is the same person writing this article. So it's transphobia that women don't want to compete with men because men are stronger than women. Like, this is fucking insane. Like, it's just another person that cheated at apparently the same event. Just knowing they're holding those beliefs. What, the belief that you're a man? Well, you are a man. What do you want me to do? Wonder if they'll have a problem with me pissing next to them at the venue. That sounds like a very feminine thing to say. Well, maybe they don't want you in the female bathroom because you're not female. Wait, they were suspended for harassing female competitors? What actually happened? Because you just know, someone like this, they're not going to tell the truth. They're not going to say what the harassment claims actually are about. They're just going to say, oh no, it's the transphobia. They were dealing with transphobia. Yun took first place at the women's event at BCPA Winter Open on February 17th. Finished with a total of 437.5 kg. Second place finisher lifted 392.5 kg. That's a fucking hell of a lot more. This person is a cheat. I'm sorry. Why can't you compete with men? There's this stuff about Anne Andre, another person who cheated, and then another man came along to beat Anne Andre's record to prove a point. I forget what his name was, Ari Silverberg or something. He called someone a bigoted, uneducated piece of shit. Way more obvious. Sports like strongman and powerlifting, because their bodies were designed differently. Yeah, males just do so much better than females in like lifting and stuff. I'm sorry. Banned for 6 months after harassing female competitors on Instagram. It depends if he was like spamming them with like shit. Man, I'm so disgusted to go to nationals and be around vile, evil bigots. Are they bigots because they think you've got an advantage? That's not bigoted, that's just real. Yeah, the competitors, rap founder act, too many of them, just downright hateful and evil. Okay, what's cheating competition then? What's what you're doing? In another post, they openly taunted women who want to keep their locker room a female-only space. Wow. Wow. This guy seems like a piece of shit, to be quite honest. So I'm glad we've got him on to complain about another cheating male also getting their comeuppance. Sounds like it happened to both of you and you both deserved it. Nasty. Nasty. Nasty.
You see, I mean,
not all sports competitions involve strength. If it's split by sex, then trans women need to go in the men's. Think about what a split by sex means. There are some sports that you could maybe make an argument for don't need to be split by sex. But that is different to saying that trans women should be in with women. That's saying that there shouldn't be a split by sex. We should never be just having it as like trans women and normal women. And then like men. Or some shit. Like, you'd get rid of the split or have the split, and then even if it's not necessarily about strength, and strength isn't the only thing that matters, by the way, they're going to split it by sex, and sex means that if you're male, you go in the men's. This person is male, they should go in the men's. This person is male, they should go in the men's.
remembering your story and some of the things you went through, the suspensions,
the harassing women,
the online nuns,
calling people bigots and evil and all this shit because they weren't happy. Oh, they got a Free Palestine t-shirt on. How nice.
since are you just kind of looking and saying,
like, I don't like the way the press act around this kind of shit, but at the same time, they must have like, they brought some of this on themselves. You're going to act like an asshole on Twitter when you were the one cheating in the first place. I have very limited like sympathy, quite honestly.
oh, here we go again?
Absolutely, but it seems to be a much bigger deal because it's obviously on a much bigger
Wash your hair, bro. Jesus.
stage, and honestly, I'm just kind of really disappointed by how this community that supposedly prides itself on being so friendly and welcoming and accepting,
Why does that mean that they should let men compete with women?
how they seem to be reacting to this situation.
What are you seeing as far as the reaction in, say, the forums, some of the things you've read, some of the things you've heard?
Well, everything I'm seeing is that they're calling Jamie Booker a man.
He is a man. So are you. So is your colleague there.
Saying that she deceived the organization.
I looked at their GoFundMe. They sure as fuck didn't mention which sex they were there. Didn't mention that they were trans there. Haven't they literally scammed people potentially? How many of those people might not have known that they were trans and donated to it.
In order to unlawfully take part in the competition.
It's not about unlawfully. I don't know if there's a law against it. It's just that they don't want males in there.
They're also just repeating how Andrea Thompson is the real winner.
Which she is. Literally, they stripped the cheater of his first place medal, so yes.
And how she was robbed of her glory on the podium.
Which she was.
We can't do that. We can't do
I have heard
What the fuck is going on here?
test them
numerous people, like,
because it's not a hormone.
This is on the what is happening? This is on the video.
and how she was robbed of her glory on the podium.
We can't do that. We can't do
I have heard
test them
numerous people, like
because it's not a hormone.
former World's Strongest Man Mitchell Hooper, Eddie Hall, they're talking about, how she's
It's just deceit.
so unnaturally
Oh, they're playing clips of these guys saying that she cheated or he cheated, which she did fucking cheat. That is cheating. And they forgot to mute it.
big, and
Should have been.
how they've
Should have said.
seen linebackers smaller than her in the NFL and things like that, and just trying to sensationalize it. as
And
much
I've
as
seen,
possible.
and that, and the pro levels of strongman, yeah, you're going to see some pretty big people who are probably bigger than a lot of linebackers these days. Certainly going to be bigger than linebackers in the CFL.
Yeah, well, they're talking about their experiences of like feeling like they've been dwarfed. Eddie Hall 6'1.5", Mitchell Hooper something around 6'3". They forget that there is a supposedly cisgender woman, Rebecca Roberts, a former World's Strongest Woman herself, who's 6'4", 6'5".
What? Okay, so one of them is 6'5". So what? That doesn't mean that male people should be allowed in female competition. What's the point in having a female competition and then allowing males into it? Defense mechanism for being actually dumb, pretend to be even dumber. Well, yeah, obviously. It's just about not losing or whatever shit. And it's very tedious, but I'm just very used to it.
5, something like that. Really big, really strong. She has
If you wanted equality, you'd want women competing against men. No, that's not equality, that's retarded. That's how almost all sports are just completely male dominated.
PCOS herself, and she dwarfs a lot of men, strong men even, but nothing's said about her because they think that she's cisgender. And
Yeah, because she's female, so she belongs in... Oh my god, these people are... They're either stupid or they know that they're missing the point and they're doing so intentionally. They know that the split is by sex and that on average, men are just bigger and stronger than women. And that matters a fucking hell of a lot in fucking strength competitions. Like, they're either stupid or, like, lying.
what really gets me is she's also one of the people that are speaking out, saying we need to protect women's sports. And
Yeah, if you're a tall woman, you're not allowed to speak out saying we need to protect women's sports, apparently.
get these men out of women's sports when she's among many, not just herself, many strong women or women's athletes in general face scrutiny for not being the traditional, conventional.
Well, when have they ever been disallowed from competing because they're not the average women's body type? None of the strong women are an average women's body type. That's not the fucking point, though, is it? They genuinely believe that trans women are a kind of women. Yeah, well, they have no way of, like, justifying it. You think women can actually outperform men? So why... Clearly you're not talking about professional sports. Okay, then your contributions are all worthless. I don't give a fuck. We're talking about professional sports. We're talking about a fucking strongwoman competition.
Ideal of what femininity.
This is what you do, isn't it? You argue a completely different point in order to pretend to yourself that you're not conceding anything and that everything you're saying makes sense when you're just ignoring everything I say anyway. And you know that I'm right. I'm very much onto you at this point. I know exactly how you operate. I like how you people think I'm so fucking stupid. that I don't notice when you do this. It's so funny.
Should be. So they're getting called men, and they're joining
Yeah, but they're not men. That's the difference. Oh, these people are so dumb.
in on this.
What's it like being trans and Canadian right now?
What?
Ideal of what femininity should be. So they're getting called men, and they're joining in on this.
What's it like being trans and Canadian right
This person is like mental.
now? Knowing that one province over, essentially you're being told you can't exist here.
I'm gonna guess that that's not what they're saying.
Oh my god, it's frightening, honestly.
Frightening. Yeah, you seem like your life is so hard. You seem like you really have it so fucking bad. Oh, it's so frightening. Living in a fucking white Western country where one of the provinces is a bit less pro-trans nowadays. Wow, bro. Why don't you go to fucking Palestine and see how they're living there? You're wearing a fucking Free Palestine shirt. What's frightening about being trans and from Canada? Do you know how often I feel frightened in the UK because I'm trans? I don't. I just have far worse things to worry about. And I still manage. I'm not fucking dying.